didn't ask and you don't care yet, but this is 20K Brokeland's breakdown of our first music video of Vesuvius.
So we got up at 7 a.m. to record this scene.
It was cold as fuck. It was really cold.
It was foggy too.
Yeah, it was really foggy.
Yeah.
Which is lucky because I think that added to the shot. Like, you'll see.
Definitely did.
Definitely added to the shot.
Yeah.
And it was the first shot that we did. And, I mean, it was a good shot, so.
It was super self-assuring because it was the first shot we ever did with a camera at all, basically. Like, it was our first video we ever took. And it's the first shot of the music video. It's the first shot we storyboarded. And when we were looking back at the camera, we were like beyond hype.
So this next shot is one of my personal favorites. And, you know, to get this shot, it was a little difficult because it was probably the most difficult shot to get because there was a lot of stuff happening. There was 2 cars involved. There was 2 drivers. I was on top of a car, as you can see in here. I was proning on this car with the camera, right? And I was getting this Civic that we rented out just for this music video.
Rented out? What are you talking about, man?
While Alex was driving and Miguel was sitting on this fucking car hood. And we had to get both cars to stop at the same time. Alex had to come out at a certain point in the song and then push Miguel. And you know what? I think it worked out. Next shot. It was a drone shot that we took of the car scene, and we borrowed my friend's drone, which is like a really nice drone that I didn't even know that they make nowadays. Technology is pretty crazy. If you look in the scene, Miguel is not wearing the same pants as the scene right before that, and that's because we recorded the scene on a different day. So just a little Easter egg right there.
That's my bad. So a shot that I think needs a little bit more attention, or at least gets a little more attention from me when I watch the video back, is the scene where I'm getting carried by Alex and our friend Tyreek. In the music video, it's something around like 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, and it's just them throwing me in the trunk, right? In reality, like, that shot was almost 1.5 minutes in real time. Like, they picked me up off the ground, my hat fell off. They were like shaking me around, and then they tossed me in the trunk, and that shit hurt. And I think we did 3 takes of that.
Like a little ragdoll.
Yeah, I was really like ragdolling, but it's crazy because in the music video it's just 2 seconds long, so like that sucks a lot. But it's also like you can't make every scene a movie. You can't make every shot a film. And after that, I wanted to show, like, when I was rapping, I wanted to show, like, I mean, I love rap. I think it's the best genre. I think it's the most complete genre. I think no genre can touch it. But I want to show, like, I'm not, just in my listening, that's not the only thing I'm listening to. So I decided to include, like, a reference to a rock band, ABBA. The ad-lib you hear someone screaming is actually me. So that pain, that really be happening. What I wanted to do originally was a series of deepfakes on all of the groups of members of ABBA and replace them with members of 20K. And we wanted to do a moving deep fake, so everyone's was talking, but my computer could not handle it, so we just did me moving, me rapping the lines, and then my friends with stagnant faces. So that was a little bit of a sad thing, but, you know, we did what we could, and I'm really happy with the shot.
So this next scene we're going to be talking about is a car follow shot scene. So I was driving my car with my passenger in there, my accomplice, and we were being filmed by Josh. Olivia was driving.
I was in the backseat.
Olivia was not driving. She was in the back seat. And we were trying to get the right angle so that we could have enough film to be able to shoot. So we went to this old parking lot.
I wanted to do it side by side, but with the angle being straight on was not ideal. So I suggested we go ahead.
At a little diagonal.
Yeah, ahead of Alex's car.
Yeah. Recording was pretty
I
straightforward.
wonder what that shot would look like from like a top-down view.
From a top-down view.
From like a pencil.
That would look kind of crazy. Let me see if I can draw that out for you. So here we are at a church parking lot, and then you have us driving through the parking lot. Now the whole we didn't want it to look like we're in a church parking lot, so we went to the side of the parking lot, and we basically positioned the camera so that you would only see the trees and none of the road. We had one car here. This car is me. Then we had another car following it. Not really following it, kind of leading it, I guess you would say. And that was car B that had the cameraman and the driver for that car.
Remember we were filming and the people at the church came?
Oh
We
yeah.
were about to race.
Yeah, they thought we were doing like drag racing or something outside. So we got stopped by he knew me, but he didn't really see me because he stopped them and I was hiding.
They thought we were drag racing in a 2003 Honda CR-V and a 2011.
My CR-V that can
Honda
pick up some
Civic.
speed.
I mean, my Civic's like a Hellcat, but you know.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I actually have turbos, twin turbos. So the next shot after that is where things get a little bit more complicated. So we have a very still that's not how you draw. We have a very still shot. We wanted it to be still, but we didn't have a tripod at this time. Even though we had 3 tripods, we didn't have a tripod at this time. So we had Josh laying inside of the car, and we pulled back the back seat so that he could rest and hold the camera in the trunk as we got this next shot, and he couldn't move. He couldn't breathe either. The goal of it was to have a completely still camera so that I could split my body. I could merge the shots and have my body split into 2 different people kind of thing, because we're doing that double back. We did a lot of very literal edits, so I was trying to double back and double myself. So to do that, I got like the other film, and I basically put it on top of the existing film. This was the existing film, and I only put it on half of the screen, and then I played it and I made it transparent, and I gradually made it more and more solid of an image as it went through. But that was how I did the double effect. Fun fact, the sky was not blue. What was it? It was like cloudy as fuck. It was an overcast.
Overcast evening.
And I didn't cuss, that didn't happen. But it was very cloudy, overcast evening. But we finished that, did the coloring for that. That took a long ass time.
Come sit here, baby. Let's talk about the hallway scene.
Okay, so the hallway scene. We started to make it because we wanted to kind of show the emotion. We wanted to show it by kind of splitting from reality and going into this sort of like scene that was
a fever dream.
Yeah, a fever dream.
Yeah, and we just took our friend's hallway that was in his basement, right? Fuck me. Fuck. Alex is walking down this hallway, right? And I'm behind him with the camera.
Right.
And maybe if you're watching it, maybe you see like a figure back here
or something.
You know? Maybe it's Khonshu, maybe it's, up to your imagination. But it was a creative choice to have the hallway blue.
For most of the scene before, we were showing it from the back of me. So it was like the camera was behind me and then it was like showing me walking down. We wanted to try to do that thing where you kind of pull the person to the end of the hallway. We wanted to use a dolly shot. It kind of gives that effect of a person being pulled if you do it the right way.
But we didn't have any equipment for that, so
yeah,
we did a very rough version of a dolly shot.
Very rough version of the dolly shot. Rudimentary version of the dolly shot.
So another shot I'm really proud of, the way it came out, was the pre-chorus walk-down scene. I remember when we got the raw footage back, we were not happy. Like I was really disappointed because like as an amateur filmmaker, I had this idea going in, like the shots we get, I just want to do minimal coloring on those because I really care about coloring, and then just post it. So I realized like post-production, we're gonna have to put a lot into the shot, and that comes across when you watch the music video. Like that shot is the most like chopped and screwed, to use like a Texas like rap term. Like the coloring on him is so crazy. The sky's a different color. The trees are red, and it's a shot like the post after when I got done editing that with Alex, like it was truly like we were like, oh my god, we snapped. Like this is so sick. And my favorite part of it is in like Alex is rapping, and he inadvertently does this thing where he like draws up, but his hand like marks up like perfectly with the outline of my body, and the effect that's on him, I got it to transfer onto me. And just seeing that, it made it one of my favorite shots in the music video. My favorite trilogy, like almost of all time, is the Spider-Man trilogy with the Sam Raimi trilogy with Tobey Maguire. And Spider-Man 3, like a lot of people hate on it, but that movie holds a dear place in my heart. But one scene that always, like, I remember when I saw it in the theater as a kid that really like shook me up was when he's tearing off like the black suit off his head, and he's like breaking out of it. Like that imagery was really like impactful to me. And I was like, when we were storyboarding this music video, I was like, I want a bag over my head. I want it to be suffocating in the bag, and I want to be able to rip it off just to do a callback like that.
So for this last scene, we were kind of inspired by Brockhampton's music video Star, and how they were pouring orange juice all over Kevin Abstract.
Yeah.
And then we also got inspiration from Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson likes to use symmetry in his shots, and he likes to make it quirky. So we kind of did like the quirky hand movements, and we like hands. And
You like hands? You like hands?
we don't like hands that much. I don't know why I said it like that. But on with the shot, what actually happened in the shot was I was standing here, and I was holding a gasoline thing over my head like this, like that.
Yeah.
And then I was pouring it on myself. And the thing about this shot is I was very sick. I was very, very, very sick. And then the water was very, very, very warm. And it was very, very cold outside. So it felt really nice on me. So I kind of forgot I was acting, and I started smiling a little bit. So just a note to all you kids out there that want to be actors, don't mess up one-take shots, because everyone's going to be mad at you. Nobody was mad at me. I was mad at me.
I was mad.
We were
Miguel was mad. Everybody was mad. The water that we put inside of the gasoline was clear, because that's how water is. But to make it give it its color, during the editing process, we went and like grabbed the water, which was a very tedious process. Shout out to Miguel. He's all about that. He's all about that little grind. So
What do you mean by you grabbed it?
we grabbed it. We like masked it
Frame
out.
by frame,
Yeah.
put mask over the water droplet.
Over the water droplets to change the color. This is going to be the last scene in our music video. So
Yeah, so funny story about this scene in particular is that on the day of shooting, we were supposed to be at the same railway yard that we filmed the rest of the fight in, but it turns out that it was in restricted airspace because it was too close to an airport. And we had to find a new location very fast because we only had the drone for a certain amount of time. And we also had to make sure that the railway looked similar to the one at the other location.
we drove to multiple different locations trying to figure out what was going to work. We originally had this one place in mind that was like 40 minutes away that we ended up scrapping almost immediately, because who's going to drive 40 minutes? And I'm surprised it worked out so well.
Laying down on those railroad tracks ruined one of my favorite jackets. Like, I can't get the stains off the backs. It was like a
Shout out to anybody that's watching this video. If you know how to get out railroad track marks,
stains. Yeah, because that was like a retro Nike jacket from like the 90s.
Like your underwear?
very
It
vintage,
was
very
really
vintage.
is vintage. So
We
Nike cut
appreciate
the
it.
check. Nike cut the check. Check out Vesuvius, the music video. After watching this, you'll see what we're talking about. You'll see our whole vision, our first project together, and album out next Friday.
Next Friday.
Friday.
We might push it back
Maybe.
again.
If we do push it back, we'll edit this
If
out.
you're watching this
Post.
video,
It was supposed to
then
come out in
yeah,
2022.
it's probably coming out next
2020
Friday.
2023?
It
2023.
was supposed to come out last year. So.
Yeah, this
Don't
whole
tell them that,
everything.
though.
Yeah, we're on top
This
of
is
it.
planned.
We're on top of things. On everything. We're on top.
2023.
Yeah, 20, yeah.